we have arrived at that most important skill called factoring. It is time to learn how to factor, most important skill in algebra. And factoring is the opposite of distribution. So same way that, adding is the opposite of subtracting, and multiplication is the opposite of division, right? Factoring is the opposite of distribution. Actually, we mentioned before, distribution is like multiplication. You're multiplying monomials, usually. Factoring is going to be like division. The main skill involved is going to be dividing monomials or division of numbers as well. So, here we go. What are the steps? First, we look at this thing. The question's usually going to say something like factoring, or maybe it'll be an intermediary step. But you look at this, and we're going to want to see, what do these terms have in common? You guys are probably used to, greatest common factor, that kind of thing. Maybe you've done it with numbers. Maybe you have not yet done it with letters. But we're going to, and we're going to get super good at it. Ready, set, go. So 3A, 3B, what do those two things have in common? They have that 3 in common. So I'm going to highlight the 3. What are we going to do? We're going to take out that 3. And we're going to put it on the outside of some parentheses, right? Then factoring is the opposite of distribution. So distribution we multiplied, and you can already see this looks like a distribution thing, right? This is going to be the opposite. So we're going to divide each of the terms by 3 in order to get that 3 back out onto the outside. So when we divide 3A divided by 3, we get just A. 3B divided by 3, it is just B, right? So this is totally equal to this thing. Remember how with distribution, it was just another way of writing the same thing. It had equal value, same thing for factoring. When we factor it out, this is just saying, oh yeah, instead of writing 3A plus 3B, I just wanted to write 3 times the quantity A plus B. Because the 3 would be multiplied by the A, the 3 would be multiplied by the B. It's just the exact opposite. It's just going backwards, essentially. But sometimes it gets harder than this, as you guys know. Let's check this guy out. For this one, m squared plus mn. We want to see what they have in common. Well, only this term has an n, so it's definitely not the n. Both terms do have an m. This one only has 1, and this one has 2, right? M squared. This one only has 1 m, so it's just going to be that 1 m, not both, just the 1 m that's going to come out, that we're going to factor out. So we put that m on the outside, and we need to divide. M squared divided by m. If you're not familiar with your dividing monomials, now is the time to tell your instructor and go work on that skill. So m squared divided by m, we get m. And then mn divided by m, you're going to get n. All right? That's how that works. So we do this term divided by that thing that we took out. When we take it out, we got to divide it out. This thing, we're going to divide that out, take it out, put it on the outside. If at any point we wanted to, we can double check this and do the distribution and go back again. We can say, okay, well, if we did m times m, that'd be m squared. M times n, that would be mn. And we know that we've done it right. That's your test. You can always distribute it back out in order to test and see if you've got it right. Okay, more practice. X squared y plus x squared y squared. Okay, we have our two terms. If you're not familiar with terms, or if that's something that you're a little bit shaky with, make sure that skill is super strong for you. We have a curriculum on it, Combined Like Terms. Go check that out. Let your instructor know that you want to do a bit of practice on that. If this is good for you, okay, x squared y plus x squared y squared. What is common? Well, we do have the x squared, right? The whole x squared, not just one x, but two x's. We have whole x squared here, x squared here. What about those y's? We only have 1 here, 2 here. So there we go. I'm just going to highlight that in a different color to make it a little more visible. And this is what we are going to take out. So we put that on the outside. Then we do x squared y divided by x squared y, because that's what we're taking out. Anything divided by itself, well, 12 divided by 12, 1, 9 divided by 9, 1, x divided by x, 1, x squared y divided by x squared y, we're also going to get 1, right? And then over here, we're taking out the x squared and one of the y's, not both of the y's. So what are we going to get? We're going to get this, 1 plus y. All right, last example, we're taking it up a notch. Ready, set, oh my goodness. Okay, now we have coefficients in here too. So First, let's check out the coefficients. We've got 3, 6, and 9. We know that we can divide out a 3 from there, right? So greatest common factor is 3 in this. So I'm going to highlight those numbers just to remind us that, hey, by the way, later on, we are going to factor out that 3. Then we're going to go through, we're going to see, okay, a squared, oh, there's only one a. So the greatest common factor there is just going to be that a, not the a squared. And then we go through, b cubed, b to the 5th, there's only one b. So that's going to be our limiting factor, and we're going to have that. Now, what are we taking out? 3, 1a, 1b, 3ab. That's what we're taking out. So we're going to do our division. 3a squared b divided by 3ab. Think of it in your heads. It's going to be just an a. 6 divided by 3, right? That's going to be 2. A squared divided by a is going to be a. B to the 5th divided by b is b to the 4th. So 6a squared b to the 5th divided by 3ab gets us 2ab to the 4th. That's how we get that number in the middle. And then for this last one, same idea, 9 divided by 3, a divided by a, b cubed divided by b, so we've got our 3. And then the a's are going to go away, and we will have b cubed divided by b gives us b squared. So this is a super important thing. You're going to use factoring, I'm not kidding, just forever and ever and ever. It is such a fundamental skill. It is time to practice a whole bunch. Ready, set, go.